What they're looking at charging Hunter Biden on is a slap on the wrist. It's a drop in the bucket. My message to the Department of Justice is very loud and clear. Do not indict Hunter Biden before Wednesday, when you have the opportunity to see the evidence that the House Oversight Committee will produce.
I've never thought I'd hear James Comer say that. Don't indict Hunter Biden yet. House Oversight Chair Comer urging the DOJ to hold off on indicting until the more bombshell evidence on Wednesday on the Biden family's business deal is revealed. Fox News contributor, former House Oversight Chair Jason Chaffetz joins us now. Jason, do you think they're worried about what James Comer wants?
They should, because he's been looking under rocks that the Department of Justice has had no interest in looking at. Not only who's getting paid, and a wide variety of people, nearly somewhere between 9 and a dozen different people. Remember, those suspicious activity reports, there are 175 of those, Brian, and there are tens of millions of dollars involved. We know the Bidens have already taken in some $30+ million. Hunter Biden still has a relationship with BHR and its super chairman. They say they've divested from that, but there's no paperwork to support that they've divested from BHR.
By the way, if they have, they got paid. And if they got paid, guess who wants to know? The baby mama down south, to find out what he can and can't afford. So they are asking for some of that paperwork. So what they're worried about is to say, hey, we got you on a minor weapons charge. You lied on your gun application, and the whole tax return thing. Slap on the wrist, move on. He had a drug problem. Who hasn't? There's nothing to see here. So is there a chance the Justice Department will say, now I'm really going to do it, and what are you going to do about it? I'm indicting him on Tuesday, because that shuts down the investigation to a degree.
Well, that may be their hope, but I think what James Comer is going to lay out here are all the places that you should indict, and will, again, open up the avenue to have the hearings, yank the people in. I mean, you've got grandkids taking $100,000 for what? You have Haley Biden, who's a school counselor, taking money. For what? The only thing that the Bidens were able to offer was the service of the access of the United States government, then the Vice President of the United States. That access to power and to be able to do things, what Comer's telling us for the first time, it's a pretty bold statement, is not only were they accepting the money, but here's what the Vice President of the United States actually did as policy in relationship to that money. That's as strong as it gets, Brian.
It's amazing, too. The MSNBC interviewer started the question with, I know it has no links to you, but your son Hunter, an indictment, of course has links to you. You paying attention? What about today's Miranda Devine column? Fascinating. Hunter Biden's ex-partner, Devin Archer, he looks like he's staring right at jail. And to avoid that, he said, speak up about your dealings with John Kerry's stepson, as well as Hunter Biden. Here's the quote. Friends with knowledge of Hunter's thinking are telling Archer to accept that the Bidens have thrown him under the bus and that a last-minute presidential pardon has been ruled out. They have urged him to save himself by using the only currency he has left, his knowledge of the family influencing peddling scheme for which he had a front-row seat for 4 years during Joe's vice presidency. Keep in mind, he also feels like he was defrauded, much like Tony Bobolinsky all of a sudden realized he was being stabbed in the back when you do business with him. Now, does he have a card to play, Jason?
He has a card to play. The problem is you don't have a Department of Justice that wants to cut a deal. They have no interest in going out and finding more evidence about Hunter Biden. That's the problem. Devin Archer says he's got the goods and he wants to spill them, but you don't have a Department of Justice that's willing to play that game. Now, Devin Archer's facing a year in jail. He's got this hearing on Tuesday, and he's looking and saying, wait, I'm the one going to jail? Meanwhile, Hunter Biden's flying around on Air Force One, living the high life. Bugs him.
Bugs me. Thank you. Jason Chaffetz, thanks a lot.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.